Hey there folks, this is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Welcome back to my bee yard here in Southeast Louisiana. Same day, different job. Same day of going through all those beehives on the 12th of June when it's like 500 degrees outside. Now it's not even hot yet, really. I mean, it's hot. Don't get me wrong, it's hot and humid, but when you can get in the shade and cool off, I always say, it ain't the dog days of summer yet. So in the shade, cooling off, I definitely broke a good sweat. Went through all the different hives around the property, but now we got another adventure to go on. It's really not an adventure, it's the same old song and dance. I want to go to the dairy. Y'all remember the dairy? And I've got a swarm box that was in my barn, and literally a swarm moved in while I was out cutting grass. I looked and saw bees in the air. I saw bees in my barn, and I thought, man, it's awful early for them to be robbing. We still got a flow on. What are they doing coming in here investigating my old comb and everything? There was just a bunch of them. Then I noticed they were only in one spot. Then I realized they were scoping out that box. So it must have been one of them overcrowding swarms that came in, because I'm cutting grass and I look, and there they are flying going in the barn and into the box. Here's a quick clip of that on my phone. So I need to go out there. I left them in that box. Oh gosh, I had to go out of town that weekend. That was last week. So that was, oh man, that was like 10 days to 2 weeks ago. So I filled the box up with frames so they couldn't build crazy comb, but they can build it underneath because the box, that swarm box is a little deeper than a deep frame. But I need to go get it in a 10 frame with a bottom board, and it's out at the dairy. I moved it out there. That one. I'm gonna go transfer from the swarm trap into a 10 frame box, and then we're gonna come on back. Then I got another video to make, because we're going on out to where that swarm that I got is, and we're gonna go check on that. But I'll do that in another video. All right guys, let's get the truck, let's get rolling. So here we are folks. Hadn't had y'all out here in a long time. I took the other stand down again. There's something out here at a certain time of the year, everything regresses. It happened last year, and then it happened with those particular 2 colonies that were out here before. So I kind of was going to abandon it, but there's so much flora. The nectar source is incredible out here. So I'm not sure if it's a spraying thing. I'm not quite sure what it is. And also it had an effect on requeening. I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, I said no. I doubled down and said, well, maybe at a certain time of year I just need to move the hives off and then bring them back for the flow. And that's kind of what I'm going to do next year. I didn't bring them out here for the flow this year, but the flow would be incredible out here just because of what's out and what's across the road. And then I'm going to overwinter out here as well. All that stuff next door to my house isn't permanent. All that's going to come out, be here, and then the next site that I'm going today to make another video. But anyway, they're hot. It's hot out here. There's the old swarm box, and that thing, it went through some major rainstorms, guys. And it is not watertight, but they liked it. Let's take a look at the fronts and see what they look like. It's hot. Not bearding too bad. They're just hanging out. The front of the other one is kind of tight. Let's look at that one. You can see the cracks and holes. They're venting. But we're gonna get them in a 10 frame or a nuke. Most likely a 10 frame. I thought about a nuke, but it's so hot, I hate to cram them in a nuke. I'd rather have them have space. The beetles are not bad out here at all. Haven't been, because we're direct sunlight. I know some studies say that doesn't matter, but it is proven true out here. It really has. So I'm gonna get those in a 10 frame and we'll go on along and see what we can do. One thing you can always tell if flow's winding down, the bees are just hanging out. They'll start flying a whole lot here in a second, just going for water. And they'll just hang out, and they're so loud fanning these colonies, these hives. So another thing too is they don't necessarily swarm too much right now because these overcrowding, this was an overcrowding swarm, I'm sure, from one of my colonies. What's weird about those is that's usually toward the end of the flow, so there's not a lot of nectar to bring, whatever nectar they bring with them, and then what's left of the residual flow is all they have. And there's not a lot to go get, so all they do is go get water and cool the hives, and they're so loud sitting on these things, sitting on these stands. But that's another thing about late swarms and overcrowding swarms. When you're outside of the flows, it's just a hassle sometimes. I'm real choosy about swarm calls and when I get them and when I go get what I go get. I tell people, leave them alone, let them go. And sometimes I'll get them from just helping somebody out. And I got a pest control guy. I don't like to turn him down because, you know, he's calling me as a last resort or something like that. But these later swarms, they're just sitting around trying to cool the hive right now, cool the box down, and we're going to give them a screen bottom. And again, I don't worry too much about that out here with beetles, and see how they like it. But they are so loud right now venting this hive. We'll probably use a little bit of smoke, but I won't use a whole lot. What I'm going to do is just set a box in the original location. And slide these over. Golly, that thing is heavy. They definitely took advantage of the end of the flow. Wow. Increases, we call that. I gotta put foundation in them, but I shouldn't need them. Because what I did was fill this up. After I caught them, it basically swarmed into this with, I don't know if y'all can see, but basically they swarmed into this box and there was like a few frames in it. So I went ahead and filled it up the rest of the way. All right, I hope that's a good enough view. Anyhow, they swarmed into that box and there were only a few frames in it. It holds 8, so I think I filled it all the way up because I didn't want a bunch of crazy comb. Now they will build comb underneath, and I'm sure they did. I'm gonna have to cut that off. I hate doing that, but I just couldn't get to them. And that's a lame excuse, I know. But nonetheless, that's what happened. I had to go out of town. So they've propolized this thing up. They've done everything they needed to do. Now, another thing I like about this hat on this veil is the wide brim. It keeps the sun off of me. I work outside every day with a hat that's a wide brim, and it makes a world of difference, and this does too. All right, cattywampus comb. There's a fella that does a farming video, Field Rose, and he uses that term cattywampus a lot, and I've picked it up. All right, so we're not going to use this frame, but I'm going to put it in here for now, just get out of the way. Let's see what we got. Here's another thing. Most of my colonies had marked queens. Only some of the older ones didn't, so that'll be interesting to see. We're just going to transfer this over and look for a queen. All right, so that one was there. I'm just going to reconfigure, I guess. Anyway, I had marked queens in a lot of my colonies. So here's the comb that I was telling you they would build. It'd be interesting to see if we got a marked queen. Y'all see her on that side? I haven't looked. Oh, that's all honey. I hate to do it, but girls, I gotta do it. Here's what we're looking at. You see all the new white comb they put in there. There was an old old towel in there from a last catch, so apparently they smelled it. I'm gonna take this frame out. I know. Alrighty. Another one with a little bit of comb on the bottom. Let's look for a queen. This is looks like filling up with a lot of nectar and some larvae. She's making a small brood nest in here. Now this frame they're rebuilding and filling it full of nectar. This one's full of nectar. So we're only seeing 3 brood frames. Let's see, yeah. And one of those is very little. They've repaired some comb. See them white stripes? Ooh, the next frame, I can't wait to show you that one. Ooh, man, they got some comb built in the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna put that on the outside. I've got some drawn comb from the freezer. It's gonna go in here. And I'll put that toward the middle. Give her a place to lay. This had a lot of honey in it. We'll throw it toward the edge. Put this toward the middle. Like we know best, right? What gives? Look how dirty the wax is, though. That's weird. It's very dirty. You know, it's because of all that debris in the bottom of the box, so. Oh, there's the queen. She's not marked either. You see her? I don't know if I caught her or not. She's not marked. She's very dark. Look at her. Huh. Now, they supersede pretty quickly afterwards, but it's way too soon for that, for the amount of brood and how long ago this was. So she wasn't superseded. Did y'all see her? Right there. She's down in that hole. There she goes. She's going up now. See her? Real dark queen. I'm going to stick her. There she is. I'm going to watch where she goes. I'm going to put her right in here. There. Now that's good. So now I can cut comb. Not worry. Take some of these frames out. This is some frames I'm giving them. I'm going to go ahead and move her on over. Need some frames to clean up. Yeah, I know they did a lot of work for that, but so we give her plenty of space, and we put her nectar frames on the outside. And they're set, and they're good in a single box. So we're gonna center the frames up, and that's it. These are usually workers that are cooling off and guard bees, so they can get a little ornery when you do this to them. Here's what's funny, guys, about bees. Look how they're up on top right there. That's where the hole was in the swarm box. So those are coming out and venting, but the returning bees, look at them, they're all hovering near the top. They're looking for that hole that's in their box. Hey, this is our home. It is now, ladies, it is now. It'll be a lot cooler for them, watertight. I did dump a bunch of debris out of that box when I dumped the bees. I just didn't want to dump them down in here. There's a lot of ants and stuff. I really didn't want to dump them down there, so I didn't. I hate to dump that debris, but they'll clean it, and it's a screen bottom, so they'll knock it down through there. It'll be good. But it didn't look good. I didn't like doing it. Alright folks, that's it for this video. Just a quick move of a swarm. Now that was a funny swarm. It came in. That queen is stumping me. Dark queen. I had one really dark queen that I remember. Hive number 11. And I split that one, and because I was worried about her swarming. But you know, she may have swarmed, but that happened ways back. They're queen right now. I didn't see the queen in there, but there's no way that's the same queen, because that swarm and that split and all that stuff I did, that was months ago. Funny thing is, the original queen that's in that spot on that other hive, she was the dark one that I split back to my place, left her requeen here. She's dark, she ain't marked. I don't know of a dark queen I had that was not marked. I just don't know. So that had to be from my colonies. But then again, bees come from miles around. They come from a quarter, half mile away. Maybe they came out of the woods. I don't know. Very odd. But nonetheless, moved them over. I did not have time. When they came in, I was cutting my grass so I could leave the next day. We were going out of town. So anyway, wherever she may come from, who knows? She's been in there now at least 10 days from her first eggs. That's when she, you know, because we got capped brood in there. Lots of larvae, lots of eggs. So looking pretty good. All the larvae look, they look very healthy, so all's well. She's got good brood going in, gave her some empty frames. They got plenty of nectar going in. They brought a bunch with them, obviously, and I'm sure they were finishing up the rest of the flow when they got here. There's plenty of clover still out that hadn't burned up yet. So it's a quick transfer. Wish I could have got to them sooner or I didn't have to cut that comb. I hated to cut it, but it is what it is. I couldn't. I had to, when I saw that moving in, I was cutting grass so I could get out of town. I had to get out of town for a weekend, so I've been not in my bees now, going on just under 2 weeks. Yep, just under 2 weeks. Matter of fact, maybe exactly 2 weeks. So, you know, not the best excuse, but the only one I got for you. Anyway, good to have bees thriving back here. Yeah, they're thriving. That other box is thriving. We're doing good out here. Gonna leave them out here and let them do what bees do, guys. I appreciate all y'all coming along. Hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget, if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. I don't even mind a thumbs down if you didn't like it, but if you did, let me know what you didn't like about it. Hey, maybe I can improve, maybe not, who knows. Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to share this video with your friends, family, anybody that just enjoys watching bees. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. May Lord God bless you. See y'all later.